So I wanted to give some thoughts on the month of Ellul, which is upon us. We're now almost a week into Ellul, and I think it's important to kind of speak a little bit about it because Ellul is really a tremendous opportunity. The month of Ellul is really a very important time that we can't let it slip away, and it's easy to happen. It's easy for the month of Ellul to kind of slip away. So to kind of understand a little bit about what it is and not to kind of lose it without the proper reflection. The month of Ellul, according to the various sources, is a month that is particularly easy to grow spiritually. It's a month that in the spiritual dimension, it's easier to accomplish things that perhaps one couldn't accomplish the entire year because there's something holding him back spiritually. But the month of Ellul is made in such a way, I guess the spiritual properties of Ellul allow for a person to grow in certain ways that he can't do the entire year. One way to view Ellul is it's like the express train. You have the slow train that takes time, and then you have the express train that'll get you somewhere really, really quickly. Ellul gives us that opportunity to grow in ways much faster than we can develop throughout the year, and it's particularly important to take advantage of this month because if you think about it, what is Ellul? It's the month before Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, before the high holidays. And we know that the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, are days of judgment. So we're going to be standing in judgment at the end of the month, right? The beginning of the month of Tishrei. And this judgment is a very serious judgment, a judgment where literally our lives are dependent on it. Everyone is decided according to the Talmud, who is going to live, who's going to die. How are you going to live? If you're going to live, are you going to live comfortably or not comfortably, healthy, without health, with success, without success, etc. And everything's going to be decided on that day of judgment, on the days, we'll call the days of judgment between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And this month is really a month for preparation where we get to prepare ourselves for this all-important judgment, right? It's like, anyone would know you don't go stand in trial without preparing ahead of time, knowing what you're going to say. Well, the month of Ellul is that time to prepare for the trial and to make sure we're ready and to make sure we're going to be successful in the days of judgment. Now, see, it's different kind of, we think about the court of law, and it's good to think about it sometimes, but it's a little bit different when we talk about the judgment of God. It's a little bit different because, in a court of law, in our world, whatever you say, the judge can believe. If you say it well, if you say it, make a good argument, he might believe you, but God knows. So if we go and make an argument, and we should be making arguments, don't get me wrong, but the prayer on Rosh Hashanah and Kippur is meant to incorporate arguments. We're supposed to sit there and arguing and giving reasons why we should be given a good life this coming year. Absolutely, we shouldn't miss that out. However, we should realize that not necessarily are we going to be believed because God knows, right? We might be saying, God, give me another year because I am going to do X, Y, and Z. And God kind of knows. He says, well, what happened last year? What happened the year before that? Have you shown any evidence of improving? Why should I believe you now? So it's very difficult to make that argument when you're dealing with, the Almighty who knows exactly what's really going through our minds and what we're really, so to speak, capable of, what we've shown in the past. The month of Ellul, the point of the month of Ellul, this month before Shan, is actually to start doing, not just talking, but doing, to live the way we know we should be living, walking into a day of judgment. When we live that way, if we set up our Ellul, the month right before Rosh Hashanah, we go into Rosh Hashanah after having lived a month where we didn't only talk, but we did the things that we know we're supposed to be doing, where we lived according to the responsibilities that we know we have, and then we walk into an Ellul, so now it's a little bit different. God says, well, how did last year go? Well, 11 months didn't go so well, but that last month he really kicked it up a notch. He's living completely differently. And now he's showing improvement. He's on his way up. This is different. This is already not just an argument, it's proof. And that's really the point of Ellul, why Ellul is such an important month. So spiritually, it has that component that allows us to grow in tremendous ways that we can't do all year. And we need to be doing things we're not doing all year because we need to prove that we truly are the people that we should be. This is the month where we need to be all that we can be. Right, that's really what the month is all about. My Rebbe, or Yaakov Moshe Katz, in the Mir, he used to say that the 40 days between Rosh Chodesh Ellul, the first day of Ellul, and Yom Kippur, which is really this period of time, these 40 days, corresponds to the 40 days that a fetus develops inside the womb. We know that for 40 days, the first 40 days is the days of development, and even science today corroborates with this. And within those first 40 days, it's absolutely up in the air. It hasn't formed at all. After 40 days, maybe it changes names from embryo to fetus. I don't quite remember. But the point is, those first 40 days are the days of development. They develop, so to speak, into a person. After that, of course, the fetus has to grow, etc. But the first 40 days are the days of development. And for us as well, in our year, the first 40 days of the year are the days that we develop into the people that we need to be. Of course, we're not just going to throw it off after Yom Kippur and go back to our old ways, but we need 40 days to make sure we're doing all that we can do and making sure we're living to our fullest. We're doing it to our best. We're thinking about our responsibilities and obligations, and we're trying to live it to the T, to the max. And that's really what Ellul is all about. And it would be a shame for a person to kind of miss out on Ellul and run into the Rosh Hashanah at the last minute and kind of have to play catch up. What a shame to miss out on an Ellul. So advice that I would give to myself and to others going in to know how to take advantage of an Ellul, I would think a person needs to just spend some time and focus, because life is so distracting. There's so much going on. We're pulled from so many directions. If we don't take a few moments to sit and focus, we are going to miss out on our Ellul. Ellul's going to fly by. The month will be over. We'll be sitting here Rosh Hashanah, Bezrat Hashem, and we'll have missed out on this opportunity, on this golden opportunity. So important for a person to spend time reflecting. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, but it has to be quiet time when you can shut off from everything else, and shut off from all the distractions and people and etc. And to make sure you can focus. And what do we focus on? What are we reflecting on during this time? Well, first of all, reflect on, wow, how important are these days? Like these days aren't like every other day of the year. We really have to take advantage of every single day of Ellul, not to let it fly by. Number one, take advantage. What is the importance of this day? Don't forget. Don't let it become routine like every other day of the year. Ellul is really important. Take advantage of the Ellul. That's number one. And then number two, think about the responsibilities that we have on ourselves as Jewish people. What are our responsibilities? What does God want from me? What do I want to have after I leave this world? What do I want them to write on my stone? What's the kind of person I need to be? Now, I was given tools. Am I living up to my responsibilities? Am I living up to the talents and abilities I was given? Am I living up to all that? And then the third part would be, what are the steps I can take to start incorporating some of that, to start living up to these responsibilities, to start improving, to get in that direction? We don't have to go from 0 to 60 in one day, but to start incorporating some of these ideas so that slowly but surely one thing can lead to another and we can get there one day. So Ellul, no one's expecting us to turn around and become totally different people overnight, but we are supposed to start building that, and as quickly as we can, because the opportunity is there. We really could change a tremendous amount in Ellul. We can break bad habits and bad mitos, bad character traits. We can do that in an unbelievable way, ways that we can't do it all year long. We have a special, what we call Siyata Dishmaya, divine assistance, during this month of Ellul to be able to do that. We have the ability to be able to really get into Torah study and really, really throw ourselves into it. And the world around us doesn't have an Ellul. I want to make this clear. If we're living in the regular world, there is no Ellul. They don't know about Ellul. They're living along like every other day. We really have to take the time to reflect and realize, no, this is a special time. Don't lose out. Take advantage of the time, reflect, and hopefully by the time these 40-day period is over, we truly will have formed into better people that we didn't think we were capable of being, but people that we know we need to be. So hopefully with these ideas, with these thoughts about what Ellul is all about, we should incorporate these ideas into our lives, and hopefully we should come to the day of judgment ready to be judged in the book of life. I wish everybody a wonderful night.